Right, we're on the podcast. It's my good
Oh,
friend Jane
yeah.
Nicholls. How you feeling?
Doing good, actually. I've had a great day.
What have you been doing?
I've been working like a dog, and then I've been to see my Joey, and I've had a gallop on my Joey, which always makes me feel great. And yeah, got here talking to you. These don't get better, do they?
The best days always. What have you been teaching today? Have you done a class
Yeah,
online?
I taught yoga flow this morning, and I used Pure Energy Mind Body Beat 6 Trip to Goa. Awesome, best one yet.
Oh, that's good. It is a good one. The next one's good. The trip to Rio. These are
Oh,
places we wish we could go to, but can't. Anyway,
it's about the closest we get, isn't it? Advanced flow on a Wednesday morning.
it is, So you have really taken to the online teaching now. You were dragging slowly. I was dragging you by the heels to get online and teach.
Oh, right. Where you suddenly drop in, I did it, and you followed.
It's
I
true.
did drag my heels because I didn't enjoy the Facebook thing. I just like to see the people. I need to see them. And then getting into it with Zoom, yeah, it's and you know why else I dragged my heels? I'll tell you why, is because it was the thought of doing it with my live classes. But I've cultivated a new group, which is the instructors that I would see or have seen on the courses. And that's just great because it's not replacing anything. It's just brand new. You know.
I do. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Well, we're here today to talk about the new social media phenomenon. I've got to set the scene first of all. Again, this is another typical Rachel and Jayne scenario. Jayne, this is a new social media platform. I'm so excited. It's going to be bigger than Facebook. I've got one invitation and I'm sending it to you right now. Get on. We can build. This is something we can do together. I'm so excited. Okay, great. 1 day goes by, 2 days go by, 3 days go by, 4 days go by, 5 days go by, 6 days. Jayne, I sent you a text. Come on, there's an opportunity over here. Nothing, no response. Next day, I do a room. I get involved. I get stuck in. I invite you to the room. You come into the room for 1 second and disappear. I beg you, please come on and speak. I need you here. This is your platform. Nothing. Then open the floodgates and here you are. Every time I look on, you're on. Just talk me through that process.
Well, I'm a procrastinator, and unlike you, Rach, I've got more things to do than be on social media 24/7. So I've got a week's jobs out the way, and then Dad went on to see if I like it. And you know what I do that you don't have to tackle this. So there's a group of people like you that just throw yourself into it with no questions asked. There's a group of people on the other side of me that go, no, I don't like it. I don't want to go into another social media platform. And then I segue between, I can go one way or the other. So when I put my foot in the water and it's audio, I just loved it. I loved it.
We do. It's so. What are we now? It's 1 day on Clubhouse feels like 11 years. It's like dog years. It's a strange platform. Gosh, where do we start with it? How do we dissect it? Lots of people are interested. Lots of people are intrigued. Many people have jumped on and said, no, it's not for them. Lots of people have jumped in and said, yep, I can see the value in this and I can see the potential in this. So you explain to everybody, because you're so articulate, what is Clubhouse? What is it? If you were describing Clubhouse to like your Alex, how would you discuss it?
A new social media platform that uses the medium of voice. I went into a great chat with 3 of my new best friends in the world who I've never met before. It was Rachel France Thompson was saying that, and I thought this was really relevant, that when she speaks, she's really animated, like you are, and I am. We have our hand gesture. She said, I'm pacing up and down the room.
I am.
And it's really weird. I don't actually. I'm quite animated in my hands, but I love the sitting still. And she was saying that once you get your speak on, those of us who like to speak, it is that great medium. You know, there's no pictures, there's no written word, there's no. there's no insinuation and there's no connotation, and there's very little room for error with what their face is doing. Usually if you can hear the voice, you can see what the face is doing.
So you land on the app, and what you have is you're able to follow people. And this is, I mean, when I did Periscope, whenever I've done any kind of social media from the beginning, it all starts like this. Everyone is on a complete level playing field. And then you've got the people that want to jump in and own it. And they're the big hitters, the millionaires, the celebrities. It's only in beta. So there's only a certain amount of people that have got access to it. And it's been around in Silicon Valley since mid last year, June, July, and a very select Silicon Valley, San Francisco set are in there. So you get a lot of people who work at Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the big platforms, a lot of techies, a lot of media people in entertainment. So they're really interesting because it's just a world that I don't ever, inhabit. So it's interesting to listen. And you basically go into a room and it will say, whatever the room title is, you go in and you listen to whoever's speaking, and they have moderators who try to organize the room, moderate the room. And then you have people from the audience come up and share. So it can be a bit like therapy, or they ask questions and it's like a panel. So we sort of think there's different types of rooms. There's rooms that are like Q&A. So Jane and I would set up a room and say questions for fitness professionals who want to develop a yoga brand, for example. And then everybody that's interested in developing a yoga brand might come up. We get them up to speak. They ask a question. You and I, as an authority, would then answer that question. That person goes down and the next person. So if you're in the right mood, those rooms are really interesting if the topic is pertinent to you, isn't it? So that would be one style of room. I think another type of room is where everybody just shares, and it can be a bit therapeutic, would you say?
If therapy is what you're after, I think sharing ideas or thoughts is always offloading. It's offloading, isn't it, really, when you give your opinion. Another style of room is when you don't take any hands up, because you can put your hands up when you're in the audience.
Yeah.
Basically saying, I want to speak. And you also have the option, don't you, of inviting whoever comes in the audience to speak. Another thing that it does, which I think is quite cute, is it divides the audience into two. An audience that are followed by the room admins and a second audience that aren't. Do you see that?
Yeah, it's like the speaker. If you follow the speaker and the speaker follows you, you're sort of in the first row. You're in the main row of the room.
In the stalls at the theatre. You're expensive seats.
And then whoever's moderating the room will swipe, press to refresh, and all the little faces move around, because some people will have left the room and new people will have come into the room, and you just see their head. And the good thing is it's linked directly to Instagram. So there's no direct messaging on ClubHouse at all. So if I go into a room that Jane's speaking and I like it, I have a look on her bio, and it has a ClubHouse bio, and it links directly to her Twitter and her Instagram. So then people are then messaging via the DM. So it's a good way to grow your Instagram. And it took about a week for me, but over the second week, I've noticed a big shift in my Instagram. Numbers have gone up. Yeah, definitely a lot more comments. And Instagram's definitely really, really gathering speed, because Instagram's a hard one to grow. It really is. So that's a definite plus. And it's good to get good connections. We've met some really interesting people. We've had some great discussions. You've set all kinds of different rooms up. I've tried different rooms. I've tried a speaking room where I've just spoke. I've tried, you and I have done a room. Zoe McNulty on a Friday, do a room called the Fit Pro Chill Out Lounge. And that's good. Everyone comes up and has a bit of a share of what's been going on online, up and down. That was really funny last week. Really good. We had a lot of good discussion there. What else have you done this week? Oh, we've jumped into a few personal trainer.
We have.
Haven't we?
I'm going to watch your face now for this reaction. So what's in the rooms that I've gone on? When one of the first conversations, someone called Jackie Instagram messaged me and said, would you like to do a room with me? And I remember calling you and going, I don't know, Jackie. Should I know Jackie? You know what I'm like. Should I know Jackie? But it turns out I didn't know Jackie. And Rachel just went, yeah, do it. So I said, on Saturday, and I really like her. And we're so different. We couldn't be more different in what we've done in the past, what we're doing now. And that was just great to have two different viewpoints. And then I did another room, and I met a guy called Jake. We're doing a room on something, on a topic that we gelled on. And then I got a new friend called Benji. And I'll be doing a room with Benji too. See?
Yeah, it's a really, I think with all these things, you've got to take them with a pinch of salt. Some days it's really good and you listen to some great talks and you're very inspired. And other days it's drivel, isn't it?
But you forget how, because we do a lot of things, I think, by Facebook written word, you do forget how articulate other people are. and when I got into it, I love a good old chat and a good old debate. But I realised that during lockdown, I've not been using proper sentences and paragraphs. I've just been having the same old conversations. It's really got.
Oh, I've lost your audio a bit, Jane. Just turn it up. Yeah. It's speak again. Let me just check.
I've lost you.
That's it. You're all back.
Sorry, my phone interfered with that. Yeah, I'd lost my ability to speak articulately, and that's coming back now. And if any instructors are thinking of getting on it, that I could tell that in teaching class today.
That you were more articulate because you were used to speaking again, going back to speaking.
It really got my flow on with my teaching today.
As you know, I'm quite an animated speaker, and if I'm on the phone to you, I'll be walking around, I'm always multitasking if I'm on the phone. So I find myself pacing the house when I'm on Clubhouse talking. I can't sit still. I just have to get up and think. And when you're trying to think about response or being articulate about when you might pull me up on stage, and like yesterday, and it's like, it's Tuesday afternoon, I'm just eating my lunch, and you go, right, Rachel, tell me about authenticity. And I suddenly got to think, shit, authenticity. And you've got a second to formulate what you're going to say. So it is good mentally. It's really good for you mentally. And it's very stimulating. And everybody loves to talk. People love the sound of their own voices.
Yeah, Rach.
I think you've all, I said this to you, you just got to jump in sometimes and have a go and have a bash and see what you think. I've seen lots of fit pros put, no, not for me, I've not got enough time to do something else. I get it. You can listen and clean the house, do the garage and I quite like that. It's quite like just having talk radio on in the background. I listened to some life coaching last night that was good. I didn't speak, I just listened. That's a feature I wish, that you could go into a room and maybe just put on your profile, I'm just listening or something. So if there's not very many people, they get you up on the stage and sometimes you don't feel like it, you just want to listen. So it'd be nice if you could just say, enjoying your session, just listening or something like that. Or if you're desperate to speak, I think you can communicate that to people.
Yeah, and it's funny how you put on the kind of social graces of normal society. So yesterday I went into a group and I was cooking dinner, and it was one of those groups. So everyone that walked into the group went on the stage. So on the stage, went, "Oh, hi, Jane, what are you in here for?" and just at that point, Eddie and Alex had come in going, "What are you doing?" Yeah, anyway, thanks for your advice. Put it down, and then left the room. Came in to get a few followers, and it wasn't that at all.
Yeah, that's happened quite a lot to me. I've been listening and then felt compelled to speak, and then Logan's gone, "Mommy, I've just done a massive poo." Oh no. So yeah, what do I think? Jury's still out. I think there's a long way to go. Will it replace Facebook? I have no idea. But you can see there's a lot of big players involved in there. And I do like that. I think we're ready for something new. I think we're ready for a new social media platform. It ticks a lot of boxes because we're missing conversation, aren't we? We are missing conversation globally. Everyone's missing. And this does give you access to people that you'd only ever see in video. Some of the business people that are on, I listened to Paris Hilton. I saw Tyrese from a movie. I listened to Kevin Hart. There's lots of people that you would never really get access to them. And because it's voice and it's not recorded, I think that's good as well. Nothing's recorded, everything disappears. So you don't feel as if it's going to be on your Facebook forever. It goes. So what do you think of the future? Where do you think it could go? Where do you think it would be?
You know what? What I'm trying to do at the moment, because we're getting a lot of this. When I first went into it, it was everyone saying, "What do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen?" And it's made me be a lot more in the here and now, be in this present moment. And I don't want to walk away from lockdown, this particular lockdown, thinking that I didn't do anything of value. Do you know what I mean? That I was too worried about thinking. At the beginning, often people were too worried about thinking about what they weren't doing. So I don't care if Clubhouse takes off. I actually don't care. I love it in the present moment. And if it's a goer, then great, and I'll use it. But if it falls off and if I get bored with it, then so be it, really.
Yeah, I don't think there's any need to think any further forward than that. Yeah, you can see people have got game plans on. You can see the tactics that people are using to get more followers. They're in the rooms, they're moderators. Some of those Americans are on 24/7. You go to bed and the picture's up. You wake up in the morning and they're still on. So you know that they are.
And there's the British are the same, because you've got those people that want to so desperately as the person they believe themselves to be. And we have different views on this, but they're not selling it to me. I think if you know, anyone, I know you do social media a lot, but you also have help, you have, you know, it's a strategy. I think if you've got the time to spend that much time on that, I think some people must go from Clubhouse to LinkedIn, Facebook Live to Instagram Live, just to tell people how great they are. And I don't understand how they're monetizing it.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand that. They probably, well, who knows? I've no idea. But
when we're talking about 6 or 7 figure incomes and their business worth, it's got to be.
Well, yeah, we have had that conversation. I've asked so many people what 7 figures mean. Does it mean a year, a month, a week? And apparently it's profit over a year. It's profit. So
I think you need to start a group and start telling the majority of 7 figure earners how to add it up, because I think some people are starting from the day they started working McDonald's.
And anybody that knows, there's these big rooms with these millionaire breakfasts and millionaire pitches and millionaire this, that, the other, and they're massive. They have thousands of people in them, and they're giving advice. They're telling everybody how they became a millionaire and what you need to do to be a millionaire. And you go in them and have a listen for a bit, then you know you quietly back out. And I think there'll be a way where you can actually hide those rooms so you don't see them, because they're at the top of the feed all the time. The feed's a hallway. They're at the top of the hallway every day. So yeah, they are worth. Who have I seen? We've bumped into quite a few Fit Pro friends over there who've jumped into our rooms, haven't they? And we've had some fun with.
Chatting with Lincoln a lot, and I've not chatted to Lincoln for ages. Saw Rachel France Thompson yesterday, Ansi, Zoe I don't speak to that much, although we do exchange a few emails, but it's much better to speak rather than text or mail.
It's been good. Lots of the UK Fit Pros have all been sort of championing each other and going in each other's room and getting involved, which is good. Really, really nice to see, and listen to everybody's opinions. Everyone's got such diverse opinions on things, and it's all now at this point in time, it's all done in a healthy way, I think, and a positive way. Whether that will degrade as this goes on, I don't know, but at the moment it is.
It's much harder to insult someone and speak your mind when it's oral rather than written word. It really is.
I've heard of you today.
But you'd have to have balls of steel to go in there and get that vibe you get on Facebook if you don't like something. There's no sad face, is there?
No, yeah. So there we are. We are 3 weeks in. Are we 4 weeks in now? 3 or 4 weeks in. So we're veterans. We're experts at Clubhouse, aren't we, in the social media world? So if you get the opportunity to have an invite, do you think people should take it? What's your opinion?
Oh yeah, I think throw yourself in. Don't procrastinate. Be like Rachel, not like me. Just because there's no long-lasting evidence, no one's going to hold it against you. No one's going to remember you in those rooms, no matter how great you were or how bad you were. So I would just get in, have a chat.
And there is some fantastic advice, and it's like being at a convention where you just go from one room, you go from one lecture to the next lecture, all kinds of different lectures. You can find anything from hair, makeup, beauty, parenting. There's some very dubious late night sort of X-rated stuff going on that I just popped into and had a look what was going on and then jumped straight out. I thought, what if anybody sees me? Because you can see who's in the rooms. There's everything. There's every kind of politics. There's business development, there's personal development, there's rooms for therapists, there's rooms for counseling, there's rooms for fitness, there's rooms for anything and everything. So you start to, whoever you follow, you start to create your hallway and curate your hallway. So the people that you follow, you'll see them when they start rooms or when they're in rooms. So if you follow people that talk about what you like, then you're going to see more of that, and the algorithm will show you more of the rooms of those types. But I've just been going into all different things, and there's a calendar where you can just see what's on. So I could go on now and say what's on now, and it brings up, I mean, there's a lot of German, have you noticed there's a lot of German rooms as well?
Oh, I haven't got that. But I think it also, the algorithms also, when you sign up, you have to say what your interests are.
Yeah.
In the rooms that point to you. So I suppose if you only put that you've got 3 interests in life.
I wonder if there's any horse riding ones. There must be. Did you put it in?
Find it in sports. No, I'd love to go in a few horse riding groups, get some tips.
I bet there is. There will be for sure. Well, if there is not now, there will be. That's for sure. Oh, well, that's good. I think, yeah, I agree. If you get the opportunity to go in. I think I listened to the town hall the other day, which is like a meeting with the developers who are developing the whole app, and they need more funding before they can develop it. So I think they've got funding for the next round, they said the other day, and it looks like they'll be opening it up globally to, I think, in March. But it's really glitchy, isn't it? You keep getting chucked off your own stage, and it's really glitchy.
On my first one, the first one I ever hosted, I just got thrown out. And you were messaging me going, you've shut the room. And I thought, what have I pressed? So I got back in, and then it threw me out again. So I knew I wasn't pressing the wrong buttons. And you'll always find a way back in. Someone else will let you into your own room in the end, I think.
Yeah, I think they will. So yeah, I think you should definitely have a go, have a listen, and then see what you think, get involved. And there is some really interesting topics of conversation in there. So yeah, any other things you want to add on our Clubhouse first, what's the word? What is this, our first impressions of Clubhouse?
I just think give it a bash. This is the perfect time to try something new, because we are pretty stuck, aren't we? Stuck at home, not going out. There's nothing to lose. And another thing that I think it might help you to do is that when we leave lockdown, is give you that momentum to go, oh yeah, it wasn't so bad doing something new. I'm not going to fail. There's no failure involved here. There's no real effort involved here. It's just
no effort. No. Yeah, it's just communication, and that's good for all of us. And who knows what relationships and friendships. Speaking of which, Zoe McNulty and I are going to host a Clubhouse dating lounge on Saturday. So I spied an American room last Saturday, popped in, had a listen, thought, ooh, we should be doing this. As you know, I've always wanted to have some kind of dating app before Tinder, way before. So I said to Zoe, do you fancy hosting it? She said, yeah. So we're going to give it a go on Saturday. No, probably all women will show up, but you never know.
Could I be Scylla?
Well, you can come in and introduce yourself, but you're not single, but you can still be involved. single and ready to mingle.
Ready to mingle?
Well, who knows? Well, we'll have to report back next week and let everybody know how. And if you are single and you've not got a Clubhouse invite, send your phone number to me and I'll send you. I've got 9 invites. So I can send you one. You can join me and Zoe on Saturday.
Oh, and I've got a few invites. I think I've only got about 4, but yeah, just I'm happy to let in eligible singletons for Rachel and Zoe to use and abuse.
Well, it'll be fun, I'm sure. Okay. Oh, thanks for that, Jane. I think that was quite a fun podcast this week. Where can everybody find you on the socials?
Oh, well, I'm in Clubhouse as Jayne Nicholls. I'm on Twitter as Jayne Nicholls. I'm on Facebook as Jayne Nicholls, amongst other things. And I'm on Instagram as Jayne Nicholls, yoga teacher training. So, yeah, come, crack on, join me.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jane. Thanks, everybody, for listening. If you're in Clubhouse, make sure you hit us up, come and join us in a room, or join a room and start a room with us. We're looking for more people to collaborate with. So,
yeah, I'll definitely host with you.
Sure. Thanks, everyone. And I'll see you on the next podcast.
Bye.